Good morning, my dear students of class 8. I welcome you all to this new class of social science where we are towards the continuation of chapter India after independence. I know you all will be surprised with this new setup, backside mountains and everything. So, your ma'am is out of station, but studies should go on. So, to begin with the chapter, children, we have seen that how India got independence, then the major challenges, and then a new constitution was written, out of which there were three major features of the Indian constitution. One major feature was that universal adult franchise. Second was all the people, all the citizens were equal before the eyes of the law. And the third was that the constitution that it offered special privileges to the most disadvantaged Indians. So after that, children, we saw that keeping in mind about the powers, how the powers had to be distributed, some had the views of completely under the central government, some wanted it to be given to the states. So to balance the claims of the powers, three list of subjects were provided. Number one was union list, number two was state list, number three was concurrent list, where union list had to deal with all taxes, foreign affairs, because it was talking about central part. Then state list, it had education, wealth, to be taken care of the states individually. Then the concurrent list, which is completely different, which had subjects such as forest, agriculture, and they were included in the joint responsibility. Means state will also take care of that, and the central government will also take care of that. It is too cold, children, that my hands are freezing. So, covering the three lists, children, we saw that the major concern was related to the official language. So after a lot of discussion, it was that Hindi was taken as the official language and English was to be used in the courts. So children, though many people contributed in the framing of constitution, but the most crucial role was played by the chairman. We discussed in the last class that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, under whose supervision this complete document was written. Our Indian constitution was finally written under his supervision, children. Now, children, we have to see that how much struggle he had gone through, that under his supervision finally the Indian constitution was written. Now children, according to him, the mere right of voting would not remove the inequality. In the earlier times before India got independence, we saw that only the richer section was given this liberty to go and vote. Even the women were excluded. So B.R. Ambedkar was in this opinion that only and only granting equal rights of vote is not going to remove these barriers of discrimination. Then what to be done? Though problems were being solved step by step, children, that doesn't mean that they had ended. It did not mean that all the problems were solved. Now we will see how were the states to be formed. If we talk about in 1920s, the Indian National Congress had promised to make separate provinces for separate linguistic groups after gaining independence. Linguistic groups based on the language spoken. Linguistic, it is that language which was the base for the separation of states. But when India got its independence, the Congress didn't do anything to fulfill its promise. The riots, killings which were seen during the partition, children, were so horrible that Congress decided not to make further divisions on the basis of language. Children, when we see some bad which is happening, we always take one cautious step that we are not going to repeat that thing. So after independence, Congress did not take further innovatives, further initiative steps. And then after seeing so much of violence, Congress decided that we are not going to have division of states on the basis of language. So, both the Prime Minister Mr. Nehru and Deputy Prime Minister Vallabhbhai Patel were against the creation of linguistic states. Children, I would like to raise one question here, that why these prime minister and deputy prime minister were against of the formation of states on the basis of language. Children, when we are getting this huge happiness of independence, do you think it was wise enough to have division on the basis of languages? Of course we are imposing discrimination. You speak Telugu, you are going to be into the different state. Our nation is a democratic nation where unity is shown in diversity. So the prime minister and deputy prime minister were not in the favor of states which were based on the basis of religion. Everything which helps the growth of nationalism has to go forward, and everything which throws obstacles in its way had to be rejected. We have applied this test to linguistic provinces also. And children, we after applying this test in our opinion cannot be supported. Of course it is not going to have unity. So children, this really disappointed the Kannada speakers, Malayalam speakers, Marathi speakers, who had been looking forward to have their own state. However, the strongest protest came from Telugu speaking districts of Madras presidency. Presidencies were the states at that time during partition. So children, in 1952 general elections, Nehru faced black flags and slogan of "We want Andhra." During his campaigns in October 1952, veteran Gandhian named Potti Sirumallu went on a hunger strike demanding the formation of Andhra. He died after 58 days of strike on 15 December 1952. The news of his death widespread, and it was so intense that the government was forced to make a new state named Andhra Pradesh. After this, many other linguistic committees started demanding. One state was formed. Automatically there were so many states which demanded their own separate state on the basis of language. After creating various states and delegating powers between the center and the state, now children, the country decided to develop itself. We divided the states, we divided the powers. What was the immediate focus? Now the country had to focus on the development of itself. For this, rigorous planning was done in order to develop the country. Children, rigorous planning is, full on, very serious, and on full move, full groove the planning was being done. And what was the motive for planning? It was the development of the country. Now children, I would stop this class at this point. We will discuss the next class, planning for development, in the next class. So thank you so much children. Till then, take care of yourselves. See you all in the next class. Bye bye.